right, here we are back for the next live stream. Let's see here. I've got a few people here. Let me confirm that. Says I have 2 people here. All right, so let me show you what we're going to do today. Okay. I'm going to share this. Okay. First thing is as an update, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a new branding, new logo, new colors, everything. I put it on my YouTube channel a few days ago, on my website today, on Facebook today, at a few places. So I've hired somebody who's going to do all of my thumbnails. He's going to go through my YouTube channel and redo all of my thumbnails and then do my future thumbnails so they look better. Hopefully more people are clicking on them and the channel grows. I mean, that's the whole goal. Let me, so I'd love to hear your feedback. Tell me what you think about it. I'm going to start off today with a poll question. But before we do this, yeah, you can hear me. Okay, so before we do this, here's my question. Let me get to it. Actually, I'm going to do the poll question. I'm going to share some updates with you. I'm going to try to show you a sneak peek of a new video that I made. And then I'm going to talk about the topic of the week, which is 3-stepping versus 4-stepping. And then I'm going to analyze a video or two and then take any questions. So here's my poll question. And this is going to seem like a weird question, but should I keep doing this live stream or not? Here's the reason why I asked this question. I started the live stream because I was trying to create this community that I was calling Team ACE. And I was doing that because I wanted to have a second tier of way for people to get coaching from me. Because right now, if you want to get coached by me in my ACE Hurdler subscription, it's $29 a month, which honestly I think is ridiculously low for what you can get out of it. But I still thought, because I'm somebody who just wants to help as many people as possible, I thought I would create this community and have a lower tier where I coach people in more of a group setting or a community setting. And I was going to do it for free and then eventually charge $9 a month for that. Well, the problem is that hardly anybody joined. And I get it. So it's still open, but I don't put any energy into it right now. And it seems like people want to come directly to me. But this whole live stream was a way of working with those people to answer a bunch of questions and do a bunch of videos all in an hour. So it's one-to-many versus one-to-one that I do in my ACE Hurdler subscription. So I'm wondering, is now that I'm not focused on my community, is this still necessary? People keep getting on, and actually each time I do it, I have a few more people than the time before. And I don't know if those of you who get on here because you like it, or you don't realize that you can just send me that video and I'll review it for you. So are you coming on here only because you think this is the only way to see a video review or get questions answered? I'm not sure. So if you would, during this stream, if you would leave a comment in there or email me, whatever your thoughts on the live stream. Like, if you want to keep it going, why? Like, why do you like it? If you were thinking, no, I only come on here because I thought it was the only way for you to review my video, but I'd much rather it be one-on-one and not in front of the whole world. Let me know that. So that would be great. Okay, updates. As I just said, I've rebranded. Still in the midst of that. It'll be a bit of a process, but I like it. Hope you like it. The other is I mentioned last week that I have actually finished filming a video that's going to be something like don't make these hurdle coaching mistakes, but it's not published yet for two reasons. One is because I'm not solo anymore. I've actually contracted some people to do work for me, and one of them is to do my thumbnails, and I don't have a thumbnail for that video yet, but I will probably put that video out this week or within a week. And then I mentioned last week this new series of videos that I wanted to make, where I would do a chronology of some people that I work with so that you could see their progress. And the thought behind that is that I thought they might make compelling YouTube videos, because people like stories. People like to see other people like them go through something like them. So I thought it'd be interesting, good for business, but also interesting and good to teach people. So if I had 5 or so people that you were watching, if one of them you related to, like maybe they had the same issue as you, same age as you, whatever, same goals as you, you'd be able to learn from me teaching them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first video. Before I do that, okay, two people are already telling me they like the live stream. That's good. I like the live stream too. So, but keep the feedback coming. Okay, I'm going to play this video. Now, I've already tasked somebody with, because I'm only, people say, I'm 90% sure this is going to work. I'm probably only about 20% sure that this is going to work right now. Again, I'm new to this stuff, so I did a little YouTube search on how to play a video on this software that I'm using, and I think I did it right. I'm Coach Mike Caton, and I help athletes if it doesn't work, somebody is going to message me and let me know that it's not working. But keep in mind, everything that I say and show on here, there's a delay, and I don't know how much of a delay. It's somewhere between 10 and 30 seconds. So it might be that it plays for a while, and then I'm going to get this message, and then by the time I stop it, it'll be a while before you hear it. But just know that if it's not working for whatever reason, it's going to stop soon. So here we go. This is the first video that I have not yet made public, because I'm waiting for the thumbnail to be made and also my search engine optimization to be done on this. So wait one second. Yep, I knew that. Thank you. Here it is. Mike Caton, and I help athletes of varying ages and abilities from all over the world get better at hurdling. Some of these athletes have agreed to share what we do so that you might be able to learn from them. This is Personal Best. For the first athlete in this series, I'd like to introduce you to Colton Westlake. He's a high school junior who's having a lot of success at a local level, and now he wants to move up to a national level. He reached out to me for help.
Hi, my name is Colton Westlake. I'm a sprinter and hurdler from St. Clairsville High School. I started hurdling my freshman year, and it's something I instantly fell in love with. There's a lot of talented guys in the classes above me, so I decided to try out hurdles and see what I can do. My times weren't incredible, but they got the job done. I was finished in top 10 in my district. Then after that, I went my sophomore season and I tried out indoor track. It's something I really liked. I enjoyed it, and I was getting my times down until I strained my hamstring. So that put me out for 6 months because it was just chronic. It kept reoccurring. I finally healed it and finally went through other sports seasons like football. I went back to where I am now, which is my current junior indoor season. currently going to the state meet, and thanks to Coach Catton, I'm going to the national meets as well. I was trying everything. I was trying different drills. I didn't know where my issues were at, and I saw his video for free analysis, and I decided to give it a try, and he helped me get those tents off, and I was in the national meet within 2 weeks. My current goals are to do well in those, as well as go to the outdoor state meet and national meet if I can, and then try to run in college too. Like I said, it's something I love and I enjoy, so I just hope I can keep going.
The way my online coaching works is through my Ace Hurdler subscription. Athletes will send me questions and videos of either their meets or their practices. I'll review the videos and give them suggestions. Okay, Colton, I'm going to take a look at this video. In general, really fast, not a whole lot of lift. But let me see what I can identify that you can improve on. You see this, the angle of your trail leg? That's showing me that it has swung too much around clockwise. What you want to happen is when it gets about right here, you want to start driving it down. But instead, you're continuing to rotate it around and bring it forward before you start to drop it down. And then you are awfully bent over. You should be a lot more upright. Like the guy next to you, even though you're ahead of him, see how upright he is? That's about how you should be. You're pretty hunched over. Your hip should be a little farther forward at this point, and you should be a little more upright again. Knee should be a little higher. At this point, I should also see your trail arm have come through a little bit. And then this reach out here is definitely too far. We want to bring that trail leg down really fast. The other thing that I'm seeing is the stride between the hurdles. You're definitely reaching out a lot. And just the spacing that I see between your knees is a bit much. And the fact that you're leaning so far over like this, it's setting you up for a lot of backside rotation, or what we refer to as heel recovery. When you're sprinting, it's just too slow of a turnover. And we want to bring your heel more straight up and don't lift it as high. And then you can see that your arms are both out as well, when you really want to keep them both at 90 degrees. I sent this video to Colton. Now I'll wait to get an update from him, and then we'll go from there. I'll post new videos of Colton as well as other athletes that I work with, so you can follow along with their journeys and together reach your personal best. If you want to learn more about how I can help you, check out acemethodcoaching.com. Okay. The feedback I got was that worked, so that's really good. I'm going to bounce out real quick to YouTube. Okay, so far 3 for 3 people want to keep the live stream going. Okay, all right, so what I want to work on now is I was going to review, actually I've got a topic I want to talk about today. So I'm going to go out to here. I want to talk about 3-stepping versus 4-stepping. And I'm doing this topic because I've been asked by, I think 3 people this week, the same question. Just like last time, people asked the same question. For some reason, it kind of seems to go in groups like this. But the question is, these are from people that are struggling to 3-step. And so they all want to know, do I have to 3-step? What if I can't 3-step? Can I 4-step? And the answer is yes. In fact, to be really clear, let me just say it this way. The goal is to 3-step because that is definitely the fastest way to get over 10 hurdles by doing that in 30 steps, right? So but that's only if you can do it fast. Meaning if you have to, for example, like this young guy, if you have to run the whole race like that, then that is not a fast way to 3-step, right? So a couple ways to look at it. If you are someone who, for some reason, Maybe you're short. Maybe you just don't have the speed, but whatever reason, you'll never be able to three-step effectively. And the best that you can ever do is going to be something like this. Then you shouldn't three-step. What you should do is train yourself really, really well with both legs so that you can four-step and be the best darn four-stepper that you could be versus a slow three-stepper. Okay. Now, let's say though that you eventually can or should be able to three-step, but you just don't have the speed yet, don't have the height yet, or you don't have the technique down, or you're spending too much time floating and doing something that's causing you to lose speed, and so therefore you're unable to three-step. But you should be able to three-step once everything comes together. In that case, here's what I would recommend. Either you don't race until you can three-step, or you race now four-stepping, but at practice each day, you build in enough time to where you can practice your three-stepping. And by doing that, in case you haven't heard me, I've said this a million times, you just pull in the hurdles closer for a spacing that does work for you to three-step without stretching out. So you can keep practicing the repetitions of practicing, staying low, getting the good technique down, getting it over fast, running in between them really well, and with proper form between the hurdles. Then you will eventually get better and slowly over days and weeks be able to spread the hurdles out to where they're going farther and farther, still three-stepping. And then when you get to the point where in practice you're within a foot, within 12 inches of the actual race spacing, and you can do that effectively in practice, three-stepping, then I would, if you were my coach, I would put you in the meet, because I really believe that in a meet situation, when you're fresh and you're excited and you have your adrenaline flowing, you will be able to three-step just like you were at practice. So that would be the way that I would approach that. So it really kind of depends. So just know that. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. I'm going to bounce back out. See, okay, no other questions. And I'm not getting any alerts that things aren't going well. So I'm going to now analyze some videos, moving on to the next segment. I've gotten several throughout the week. But what I've been doing is, rather than making people wait a whole week until I review them, some of them I just do early and send to them because I can do them pretty quickly. The ones that I get like the last few days before this, I'll save them for this live stream. Again, because that's the reason why I asked the polling question. I'm not 100% sure I was going to keep doing this, so it kind of determines, how I approach this. But anyway, I've got a few videos. This one here, I'm almost sure that it's this person right here that sent the video, because the camera stays on him. Sometimes people will send me a video, but they don't tell me who they are, and I have to figure it out. But I'm pretty sure it's him. He wins the race. The camera stays on him the whole time. So I'm thinking it's him. But let me tell you what I think. Lots of good stuff. I mean, as far as being an aggressive, athletic-looking person, I don't think it will play at full speed. But the technique leaves something to be desired. So he actually won the race purely off of grit. Okay, so let's see what we got going on. For one, he is too close to the hurdle. He needs to be back here. Um, so if you've been watching me for a while, you know that if you're too close, it forces you to take a steep angle to get over the hurdle. That means in order to not hit the hurdle, once you get here, you have to keep going up before you reached your peak. And now you're on the backside of the hurdle, so you're too high, and then you have to drop down too far. You'll want to take off farther away so that you can have a low angle over the hurdle. So you're going to see how high he's going to be over the hurdle, and that's really odd. He's actually turning sideways. So partly because he was too close, you can see his lead leg has to swing around in order to avoid hitting his shins on it. Anyway, so he's up too high. I would say that's at least 10 inches there. And then I'm trying to figure out why he's so twisted. Probably because he swung his lead leg around. Also, straight arming it. You don't want to do that. You want to bend that arm at 90 degrees. This hand should sweep right past this knee. Keep your shoulders squared. Keep your hips squared. And then because he's too high, okay, look at this. This is just like he was dropped to the ground from about 5 feet up, right? So that's the problem with jumping. That's the reason why you want to go through the hurdle, not over the top. So now he's got to drop down, and now he touches down, and most likely, unless he's super strong, this knee is going to buckle a little bit because he's dropping down, and then I'm going to see it into his second step. It's going to look like his center of mass is sinking into the ground. See, there goes the knee buckle. Drop, ooh, even worse. Drop lower. Now he's still sinking. Look at that, sinking into a hole. And then now he's going to start climbing out of the hole. And then here he is running normal again. Okay, so this is the problem with going too high over a hurdle. It's not really running and hurdling. It's running and jumping and landing. Repeat 10 times. Okay, so way off balance, partly because he's too high. And the trail leg, the funny thing is all his competitors are doing the exact same thing. I'm going to guess these are freshmen. Okay. So because he's too high and he's dropping, nothing else works right. You can see that his shoulders are too twisted, like sideways. It's, again, partly because he was too high, partly because he swung his lead leg around, and the trail leg just drops. And then he straightens out. I think even higher on this one. That's my sound effects of landing. And then you see the bent overness right here. Better to run tall between the hurdles. Get your hips forward. Stay high, but then stay flat over the hurdle. Okay, so the good thing is, like I said, you look athletic, you look aggressive, you look fast. So you pulled this off against a group of people who jump over hurdles similarly as you. But if you want to get good at them, you're going to have to learn to jump right to the top of it and then wrap your legs around it as you go over it. That's going to make a huge difference. Okay, let me see. Okay, no other questions have come through. I'm going to go back and oh, somebody asked if I sent a video right now, how long would it take to get a response? Okay, so just so you'll know, I've already made the mistake in the past of trying to get one and do it live. So I won't do it live on today's show, but if you email it to me, I'll have it done just whenever I can. You know, the way that it works. Here's the way my life works. I get up every day and I answer questions and look at videos from my subscribers. That's my priority. Those are the people that get my attention the fastest. And then I'm also working on my next YouTube videos, and then just building my business in general. And then on top of that, it's as I can. I look at questions from just random people emailing me and videos that are sent to me. I usually get to them almost always in a matter of days. On a slow week, it might be 4 or 5 days, but it's just as time permits. So I'll definitely look at it this week. Just hard to say exactly when. So I hope that answered your question. So for people that just got on, I asked a question at the beginning, sort of a polling question for anybody here. And even if you come and you watch this video after, because there's a lot more people watch this video not live than do live. And I asked the question, what do you think of should I keep doing this live stream? Or are you only here because you think it's the only way to ask me a question, or the only way to get me to review a video? Would you prefer it just to do it privately, or do you like this concept? So far, I've gotten 3 answers of 3 or 4 that people want to keep doing it. I just would like to hear from more people. So while I'm waiting for more questions to come through, I'm going to bounce back and watch another video. And then I'm going to come back and answer this question that just came on. Okay, this video is a collegiate. I get all kinds of people. I get middle schoolers, high schoolers, and collegiates who send me videos, and even some master's level people. And the collegiates, they run the gamut. I've got some D1, really, really amazing D1 athletes, but I also have some that are D2, D3, and they're at various stages of their career. So I'm looking, at this, and I'm looking at this gentleman here. Want to do it full speed? Okay, hit the hurdle, hit the hurdle, hit the hurdle. Okay, so let me see if I can figure out what his issue is. Okay. All right. Okay. So from the beginning, good speed and aggression coming out of the blocks. Did not slow down one bit going into that first hurdle. So that in itself is really good. So let's see. One thing is, compared to that 42-inch hurdle, you don't look very tall. So it seems like that's one thing against you, is your height. I'm going to guess. Okay, also, I'm looking at your lead leg first. I kind of have a process. Start with the lead leg. So it was tucked underneath you really nice, came through straight. This is, compared to the video we just saw, this is what a lead leg should look like. Come straight through and not lock out fully. This is like a 95% extension, which is really nice. So far, this looks really, really good. So far. Okay, but actually your trail leg looks really nice. I mean, your knee got over it. That's what matters. You want your knee just to barely clear it, and then your knee starts to go up. The problem is, I think you just hooked it with your foot. So I can't tell what's going on the backside there, but you want to keep your foot tucked into your butt really tight, and you're going to have your toe angled up so that your ankle is as high as your knee so you don't hit it. I think you would have been just fine had that not happened. And a couple things. One, again, I think I'm right about the height, but where a taller person would be touching down right now, you still have to go down a little bit. And also because you hooked it with your foot, it's messing you up. It throws your rhythm off because you need to be pulling your knee through, but you can't because it got caught on that hurdle. So right here, you should be a little farther ahead with that knee. Look at that guy next to you. He's worse. Okay, so at this point, your knee should have been just driving, hard charging forward, but yours seems like it's now coming down, and you are also, if I see your arm all the way across, like you're ready to hit this guy. But I think it's because of what happened hitting that hurdle. Because right here, you should be, you know what? I don't know that it's necessarily the only reason. So your trail arm looks great here, but you want to pull it straight through. I mean, it should only be going in that plane, moving from back to forward. Yours seems to be swinging around from the side. And see how all your momentum is now like that? I'm not sure why your whole upper body, you want to try to keep your shoulders square, have this hand brush right past this knee as it comes forward, and this one comes straight forward. But it might be because you hooked that hurdle. And then this is just trying not to fall. Not sure. Yeah, look at it. See how your leg has to swing around to keep you from falling? That is pure strength and balance and athleticism that kept you up there. Okay, now that I see this angle, I want to change my opinion of your lead leg, because over there I said it was good, but I hesitated on something. But okay, so this looks good right here, but at this point, your heel should still be tucked up by your butt and almost still just now starting to unfurl. So you are lifting with too much of a straight leg, and that's going to give you too much momentum coming up. But from there, lead leg looks great. But you appear to be leaning over to the right side. And I don't know why that is. And then boom, there's hooking that leg again. It's the same thing happened on both legs. Okay, so at this point, when you are right here, your lower leg should be parallel to the ground, but you're keeping your foot lower than your knee. It should be literally be parallel. I recommend on my YouTube channel, I've got a video that I did at the last Olympics that shows the technique of men going over the hurdle. And you will see, in fact, if you have my video called 6 Techniques to Level Up Your Hurdling, it shows this also. When you go through, the lower leg should be parallel to the ground. Okay, boom, hook that hurdle again. And then now we get to see it from the back side, how you're falling over to the right. That leg swings around again. And then what happened here is you were just so, from 2 hurdles in a row, you lost all your speed, lost your balance, and just lost all the integrity of the hurdling itself. I think you're really close. I think you're really close to this coming together and being really good at it. And it is, again, a little work with that lead leg, and then that trail leg, keep it parallel, get that foot up, and then from there, it's hard for me to tell if your technique would have been good had you not hit the hurdle. I never got to see it. But anyway, I think you're really close. Um, Now, even if you are on the shorter side of a hurdle, or it seems like you have the ability to actually be pretty good at it. So I'd love to get your feedback. So that's it. Let me bounce out to here. Oh, cool. It's the guy in the video. Um, Actually, I was able to see it in that one video. And unfortunately, those videos that you sent, for some reason, they were turned sideways, and it would take me a few steps to go in and write them up to put them into this analyzer, and I didn't want to go through that. I was running out of time. Getting the trail foot up is difficult for me. Any tips? Okay, so that would mean, let me think this through. You can't, okay, that would suggest to me that you have an issue in your hips where you are having a hard time internally rotating it so that you can get that heel up, if that makes sense to you. So you've got some tightness in your hip. And just so you'll know, I'm not a fan of stretching. So whenever I say you're tight, that doesn't suggest that I think you should go stretch your hips out. What I would recommend is when you're warming up to do drills where you're swinging, where you're like kneeling on the ground. You can do it standing too, but I've seen a lot of people do it kneeling on the ground, maybe holding onto a wall, and then they bring their leg up and around to where they are able to plant it. And you do that back and forth, or you can just do it over a hurdle even, where you're just working on your trail leg, and each time working harder and harder to get your hip more loose to have a good trail leg. But then also you can work on the rotation of your hip so that you can lift your heels up. So hopefully that helped. Okay. Let's see here. I feel like I've shown the preview, did some video reviews, talked about it. Right now, all I'm doing is fielding questions at the moment. So any other questions that want to come in, I can help you with. I'm actually probably looking at a really bad screen for this. Let me go to here. This looks a little more pleasing than the infinite loop of videos behind me. So let's see here. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do the same thing I've done in the last few weeks while I am waiting on questions to come in. For the third time, I had that polling question about, should I keep doing this? I've gotten 3, but you can send me emails throughout the week. The other is that little sneak preview that I showed you of the what I'm calling personal best videos. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So if you could email me just to say, hey, I really liked it, or like, oh, I thought it was too slow and draggy, or any feedback you have would be great. If you think it's a good concept, anything, I'd love to hear that. Let's see here. And while we're at it, for the people who are new and you're wondering who the heck is this guy, let me share my screen again. Let me show you who I am, what this is all about. Ace Method Coaching is the business. I coach hurdlers. I've been coaching hurdlers for a very long time. I don't even know, I'd say 25 years or so. I round a lot, but I think it's more than that actually. And I have on here that I've coached over 50 state champions and finalists. That's just hurdlers alone. If I were to add up all my other runners, it would be in the hundreds. This is just hurdlers. And anyway, so just know that it's the real. if you want to learn about me, you can watch this video. I won't go into it right now. Um, right now, based on my feedback, it looks like I'm going to keep doing these live streams. So at some point in the week, I'll go in here and update it when the next one's going to be. I do offer some free things. This is a video that's very, very helpful that I put together to show technique, because I get, again, for years now, I just get videos from people all over the world, various abilities, and it becomes, I don't want to say repetitive because I enjoy this. I wish I could do this all the time, every day. But you see the same things a lot. So I'm able to see the most common mistakes and then also recognize what the good people are doing. And, that kind of goes hand in hand. So I just kind of put it together into a video to make it really clear for you. And then I do a whole lot of video reviews. So if you want me to look at your video and it's free, just email it to me. I'll do a quick analysis and send you a video showing that. These are how I make the money doing this. One is, this is a video and PDF that goes along with it. That is a step-by-step guide to teach somebody who is absolute beginner how to hurdle. Takes them to a pretty proficient state. And then also, this is a hurdle training plan, coach's version, athlete's version. This is a very detailed, this is 60 pages right here of 3 workouts a week from the beginning of a season, high school season, to the end of a season, how to progress your hurdlers to get better and better as the season goes on, because it's a whole lot more than just teaching them how to hurdle and then just letting them do that. There's whole workouts that you want to be doing to help them get faster and faster. And then you might have, you might have heard me already mention this, but this right here, my subscription is where my priority is every day. And multiple times a day, it's to answer questions from hurdlers and coaches who are part of my subscription. I get a lot of videos, a lot of questions from them, and I guide them. I, coach them, whatever they need. I'm helping them with that, and this is what I do. And then around that time, I'm working on my next YouTube video, or looking at people who are just sending me questions and videos, and then I always have videos and articles, things like that. So that's what ACE Method Coaching is and what I'm all about. Let me see if I have any more questions. Okay. You bet. And let's see here. Any tips on how to get out of the blocks quick? Thank you. Okay. That is a really tough question. And I someday I just need to do that, because it's not just a hurdle question. I have so many hurdle videos I want to make before I do this, but and I have never made a video about coming out of the blocks. But let me just say this, that you need to be strong, you need to be powerful. So doing all your standard strength exercises is really good. Squats, lunges, step-ups, things like that are really, really good for strength. But you also need power. And it's one of the fundamentals of exercise physiology, is the difference between strength and power. Strength is how much work you can do, how much load you can push. Power is how fast can you push that load. And so you have your body's weight. In order to explode off of a block, you need the strength, but you also need to be able to do that quickly. So how do you do that? You need to work on power as well. So some of my favorite power movements to practice coming out of blocks fast is a step-up jump. So you put your leg up on a step-up, and then you do jumps out of that where you're pushing on that. Because if you think about it, when you're when you have your foot up on a step, that's the same position as you in the blocks with one foot ahead of the other, but just up against gravity versus at an angle coming this way. So, you just jump up and down, as it from a step up position is a really good way to work the power there. Another drill that I like is if you can imagine doing a walking lunge or a traveling lunge where you're lunging forward. But when you lunge down, when you come out of that lunge, you jump out of it. We call them Superman lunges, where you jump out like if you're Superman taking off, because you want to, go forward at an angle coming out of that. And that works similar muscles in a similar way of you exploding out of the blocks. So hopefully that answered your question. And then I got a really nice recommendation there. So thank you, Leland. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here. If while I'm wrapping up a question comes in, I'll take it. But if not, just know that so far I'm doing this every week. If you want me to answer any questions, if you want to see any videos, email them to me, and then I will either answer them throughout the week or make them as part of this. If you're somebody who wants to be part of this, definitely mention that. If you're somebody who is more private than that, because people will do that, they'll send me videos and say, please don't make it in the live stream. I get that. So if that's the case, tell me that. But just, that's what I'm all about. And let's see here. And if you like what you see here and you want to get more of it on a regular basis, I highly recommend you look into my subscription. I did get a new question here. What hurdling with weak leg with bad form be better than stuttering before hurdle in a 300 hurdle? Oh, would hurdling with weak leg? Yes. Okay. Sorry. I get that. That's a great question. And the answer is, okay, the question is for those of you who don't see it, would hurdling with your weak leg, meaning your non-dominant leg, with bad form be better than stuttering before a hurdle in the 300-meter hurdle race? That is a fantastic question, and the answer is yes. Most of your, what's the word I'm going to say? Most of your success in the 300 hurdles is your running, not your hurdling. So even if you look at in the Olympics, it's odd to me, but these hurdlers, the best in the world, they jump over that hurdle in the 400-meter hurdles like a foot over that hurdle. They don't need to. I don't know why they do. Actually, I have a theory of why, but I'm not going to get into it. And it's not intentional. It's all subconscious. But anyway, the focus on that race is to run like you're running a 400 or a 300 or 200, but try not to ever lose speed. So stuttering at a hurdle starts slowing all your speed down, and then you have to jump, and then you have to re-pick up your speed. Every time you do that, you lose speed and you waste energy, which is going to bite you at the end. So what you want to do, what you want to do is try to maintain your speed. So if you come up and you're not at the proper leg or where you want to be, just go over it, even if it's ugly, to maintain your speed and not have to slow down. I always told my high schoolers, better to hurdle ugly and fast than pretty and slow. Okay, so just plow through it, but then always be practicing with both legs. Okay. Somebody said they put a question up and I did not see it. I did not see it. The only thing I saw from you earlier is to please keep doing the live stream, but I never saw a question. So I will hang out a little bit. And then here it goes. No. Okay. anyway, so hope in Christ alone. I know the settings are that if you ask a question, you have to wait 60 seconds to be able to ask a question again. So maybe it got lost in that shuffle or something. I'll hang on there, see if anybody wants to ask another question. But the other person, thank you for that question, and thank you for thanking me for the answer. I'm going to wait just a little bit to see if another question comes through. If not, I'll wrap this up for the third time. And also know that if you send me your questions in advance, they're for sure going to get answered on here, and I can queue them up and actually sometimes, excuse me, get some supporting video and stuff like that to make my answer a little bit clearer than just having to watch me talk. Okay, it looks like the other question is not coming through. So I will officially wrap this up. Again, feel free to send me stuff throughout the week, and I won't repeat all the stuff here, but just know that that's something you can do, and look forward to helping more people out, and we'll go from there. Please give me feedback. Oh, okay, I got another question. Darn it. Okay. How would you go about setting up a shuttle hurdle relay? Oh, man. Okay. I don't have an answer for that. And the reason is for the 20 some odd years that I coached in Colorado, we didn't have shuttle relays. Maybe my first year that I coached, I went to a meet that had shuttle relays, and I didn't have 4 hurdlers at the time to even put a relay together. And I thought, well, that would be fun, but I wouldn't even know. So sorry, I can't speak to that. Okay. So anyway, everyone, again, for the 4th time, you could send me videos throughout the week, and we'll go from there. And have a good week. And thanks for jumping on.